This is just a quick video about having a separate Shopify store to a website. And here's a spoiler for you. The short answer is no, don't do it. Now, I've just been inspired to do a quick video on this because a friend of mine asked me, should she have a separate Shopify store? In fact, she'd already made a subdomain and she was going to use it on her website. After I recovered and picked myself up from the floor and fainted and had to have a margarita to recover, I yelled, no, 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 no. No, you don't. You absolutely must not. Now, I know this is what most authors who are coming from selling on the retailers to e-commerce do. They think, oh my gosh, it's too much because, as authors, we're always overwhelmed, etc., especially if you're selling on the retailers, that is, and especially if you're in KDP Select, where you have to upload, and you're a hamster on a treadmill. It is completely overwhelming. Of course it is, but you'll create more work for yourself. And what's more, you won't make as much money by a long shot. In fact, it will kill your organic traffic. Organic traffic is free. Who doesn't like free? Authors love free. It's free. Organic traffic is free. If you have two separate websites, you are killing your SEO. Wave goodbye to free traffic. You're just not going to get me. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just giving you the facts. Because what does Google do if you have a store plus a website? Google's like, oh, okay, these are two separate websites. They're two separate websites. So how are you going to do your SEO? Which one are you going to favor? What's going to happen? Readers are going to be confused. You're not going to come to the top of Google search even for your own name. You want readers to go to you to buy from your store if you have an e-commerce store. Now, most authors have a website. It's just like a brochure, isn't it? It's a brochure for their authorship. It doesn't do anything. It does. Maybe you might have a page where you have a lead magnet or something like that, which, by the way, you must never do in e-commerce, not if you're a fiction author. And it's just basically a showcase for your books. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't collect emails. It doesn't collect SMS. It doesn't collect birthday flows. It doesn't do anything. It's static. It's just sitting there like a blob in the corner of your living room, isn't it? It's just there. It's not exciting. It's not doing anything. But you think, okay, people can go there. They can find my reading order. They might be able to see this and that. And then you mainly send them to Amazon. You mainly send them to the retailers. But let me tell you, those retailers do a good job of sending your readers to your other books. You don't need to send them there too. It's a complete waste of time and money. Get that website across and merge them with Shopify. Now, as I told my friend, it doesn't really take you any longer because say you're there scratching your head and you think, oh, what will I do on my homepage for my Shopify store? Worry no longer. Simply copy everything that is on your current website. And if you don't manage your current website, just get everything across. You'd have the images, get the images, the descriptions, everything, and just make it look the same. In fact, that probably saves you time because the main time in Shopify is uploading your files to BookFunnel and Lulu, or if you use BookVault and wherever, and uploading all your digital files to BookFunnel. So that's the main thing that you are doing. That's what's going to take your time, not designing your homepage. A lot of people have a lot of indecision when they start about how their homepage should look. But if you already have a website, you're going to save a lot of time because you simply have to take it across. Now, as I said, SEO, search engine optimization, is incredibly important for an author store. And that's why you must not have a website because you will split them. Google's not going to like it. It won't know where to send the traffic. You can't have both of them optimized for SEO because they'll be basically in competition with each other. So your normal website that's what I had to tell clients of mine who had both. Your normal website is in competition with your store. Where would you rather send people? You want them to go to your store because they will buy from you. You will own the customer. Once you've decided to get into e-commerce, you do not want to be sending anyone to Amazon or to the other retailers. If they are dyed-in-the-wool people, they will find it. And that's what your retailer email list is for. Your retailer email list will take care of all of that. No use paying for web hosting, which is just a little bit more than the Shopify basic cost a year, unless you've got a cheapy deal for somewhere for web hosting. With Shopify, you don't have to pay for web hosting. Why pay two? Put that money into a nice app or put that money into ads or something. But it's a waste of time and money, and it will cost you a lot of money to stuff up your SEO entirely. So make sure that your website now is not just a brochure, a flyer for your business. Turn it into a real customer journey by merging your website with Shopify. That was my dog snorting in agreement with what I just said. If you heard a very bizarre noise over there on the sofa. And what's more, Shopify handles all the tech for you. Structured data, SSL certificates, hosting, customizable design. It's all done for you and you don't have to do anything. Get rid of that ghastly old website, no matter how beautiful it is. There is no purpose to its existence once you have a Shopify store. Make your website your Shopify store. Absolutely. Go do it now. And when you have one store, you've got one brand. You've got one destination. How good is that? It's like a travel company that was sending two people, giving people a choice. Do you want to go here? Do you want to go there? I'm giving you two locations. You don't give people two locations. You want them to go to one place. You want one location. You can optimize that location. What is your sole purpose in being an author? If you are traditionally published, your sole purpose is fame and glory. Or even if you're not very famous or glorified, you can tell people at dinner parties you're traditionally published and get a nice little pat on the head. But if you're an indie author, what is your sole purpose? It's usually to make money. To make money, or at least to become visible. You won't get that if you have a website and a Shopify store. They need to be merged, because having two, I guarantee you, you will lose money. I guarantee it. You need them in the one place. Absolutely, you need them in the one place. Don't have a website plus a Shopify store. It's like having two websites. What author has two different websites? It just doesn't make sense, does it? So when you move into e-commerce, you are saying, I'm going to put e-commerce to the forefront. Now, sure, you might be still making $10,000 a month on KDP Select or whatever. I'm not saying I never advise to get out of KDP Select. But if you're coming into e-commerce, you have to, in your mind, that has to be your priority. You can still sell paperbacks. You can sell audiobooks. You can sell paperback bundles. I have lots of clients who are in KDP Select and they do very well out of their paperbacks on their store. But never send anyone to the retailers, obviously from your Shopify store. And it is super important to ditch that website and merge it with Shopify. Once you commit to having an e-commerce store, therefore you've basically committed not to send readers to Amazon. In your back matter, put your back matter in your books to your Shopify store, not to Amazon. With your retailer list, that's what your mailer like MailChimp, Aweber, whatever you've got that isn't Klaviyo for stores, those other lists for your retailers, those lists you can send people to the retailers, because you'll have readers that will never buy from your store. They're entrenched in buying from Amazon or whatever. Or you could, if you're in KDP Select, you'll have dyed-in-the-wool Kindle Unlimited readers, and they will never go to your store in a million years if they are not buyers. So you've got to keep the two separate, but you must give preference to e-commerce at all times. Give preference to e-commerce. As I always say, having an author store is not being wide. Do not treat it as being wide. That is the number one guaranteed way to go down the gurgler. Lose money by not making money in the first place if you treat it as just another retailer. It's not. It's an e-commerce business. You now are the retailer. You're not one of the other retailers you're distributing to. I always use the example of shoes. I always say, let's say I made running shoes, which obviously I don't. Now, let's say I did, and I took them to a running shoe store and they said, okay, we'll take these and we'll give you like 60% of whatever they make. I wouldn't have those customers. They might sell them to all these different customers. I'd never have access to those customers. I couldn't develop another brand of running shoes and sell to those customers because the shoe store would own those customers. When you have an e-commerce store, you are that retailer. You are that retailer who is making and selling those shoes. So don't be mistaken. Don't be misled. You don't want to send readers off to two different places. Once you decide to do e-commerce, you must realize it's nothing to do with being wide. It's not being wide. It's an e-commerce business. And the way to succeed in e-commerce, the first thing to do is to realize it is an e-commerce business. It is not a selling on the retailer's business. It is not an extension of being wide. They are two totally separate businesses. Do not treat them as the same. So, to answer my first question, don't have a separate author store to a Shopify store. Merge them. Absolutely. Okay, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want me to do a video on something, please just comment below. Bye for now.